These children are truly pitiable. From birth, they were tagged with numbers by soldiers and sent to military camps, embarking on a hellish life. By the age of 6, they were forced to watch fights between wild boars and hunting dogs, embedding the law of the jungle deep into their tender minds. By the age of 9, they had 2 complete complex intelligence tests within 30 seconds. By 12, they underwent intense daily physical training. Those who fell behind due to poor conditioning were shown no mercy, executed on the spot by their superiors. By 16, after rigorous selection, they underwent brutal live-fire target practice. In non-essential situations, they spared civilians, but in special cases, even civilians were eliminated without a trace of sympathy. At 17, the devilish training ended. Those who survived had their names and numbers engraved on their faces, officially becoming killing machines. They were known collectively as soldier, their sole purpose to fight. In their eyes, all emotion had long been extinguished, replaced only by slaughter. These emotionless killing machines were created to ensure victory in future interstellar wars under the U.S. military's Soldier Man Project. By the 38th year, led by Todd, 3,465, the soldier men had fought hundreds of battles, eliminated all enemies, and won the brutal Six-City War. During the harsh Moscow incident, they annihilated everyone even when enemies held hostages, showing no mercy whatsoever. Now, in the 40th year, even distant planets like Argentina bear their footprints. Todd, 3,465, is the most exceptional among them, battling from Earth to outer space through countless brutal campaigns, yet remaining undefeated. All data indicate he is a perfect fighting machine, consistently topping the Soldier Man charts. Church looks upon these veterans with great satisfaction. However, rapidly advancing technology has trained a new batch of future soldiers. Even Todd, who has never been defeated, faces the dawn of his end. The newly appointed Colonel Meekum confidently highlights the advantages of the new soldiers. The veterans were selected through genetic screening. The new soldiers are genetically modified muscle men, trained with more scientific methods. In endurance, strength, or reflexes, they thoroughly outclass the veterans. Colonel Meekum intends to replace Todd and the old soldier men with these new devil warriors to enhance combat effectiveness. But Church disagrees, arguing that veterans are battle-hardened and experienced, while the new soldiers have never seen combat. How effective can brute strength be? Seeing the skepticism, Colonel Meekum suggests a practical comparison. In a high-speed shooting test, the new soldiers not only handle their weapons with stability, but also achieve a 99% hit rate, thoroughly outperforming the veterans in physical fitness. Church remains unconvinced and proposes an endurance test. He sends Todd to run first, giving him a 20-minute head start. Then Meekum casually sends a new soldier. Though Todd's stamina is remarkable, the new soldier's speed is terrifying. He soon catches up and finishes 15 kilometers with a significant advantage. After the run, Todd is drenched in sweat and gasping. The new soldier seems not to have exerted effort at all. Still, Church stubbornly argues this proves nothing. He demands the old and new soldiers climb a chain and engage in a real fight. He wants Todd to teach the new soldier a lesson. Colonel Meekum, thinking the new soldier a formidable one-on-one, suggests 3 veterans against 1 new soldier. Unexpectedly, even 3 against 1, the veterans are no match for Kane, the new soldier. The new training method made these soldiers invincible. In front of the young, strong, new soldiers, the veterans are completely outclassed. After the confrontation, 1 veteran falls to his death, another is knocked unconscious, and Todd is severely injured, barely alive. Though Kane lost an eye to Todd, he ultimately won. Kane successfully replaces the long-serving veterans. The remaining veterans are filled with sorrow, but admit the new soldier's strength. Even Church has to concede. Meekum takes the opportunity to scold the injured new soldier, criticizing him for losing an eye, implying a loss in combat value. His words veiled an insult. The defeated veterans were even more useless. He shoots the unconscious veteran dead and declares all 3 accidental deaths. Todd, mistaken for dead due to his unconscious state, narrowly escapes. Subsequently, they are discarded as waste and sent to a distant planet on a garbage spaceship. This planet, known as the Garbage Planet, showcases future humanity's capability to dedicate an entire planet to waste disposal. The severely injured Todd suddenly wakes, looking around at his dead comrades and surroundings, momentarily confused. A piercing alarm sounds as the garbage ship doors open. Todd and his teammates are dumped onto the planet like trash. The first time Todd sees a woman, he stares with a greedy gaze. She senses his stare, but doesn't get angry. Instead, she shyly lowers her head, unaware this man hasn't seen a beautiful woman in 40 years. Todd, a top soldier who fought in numerous galactic wars, was subjected to strict military indoctrination from childhood, his only purpose to fight. Despite earning countless honors and facing death many times, the organization adopted new genetic technologies, creating improved new soldiers physically, far superior, leading to the veterans' ruthless elimination. They were abandoned by the Empire's military organization. They served their lives and deaths deemed inconsequential, dumped on the garbage planet like space debris. It was a cruel, trampling, and insult to humanity. Fortunately, Todd miraculously survived. Silently watching the departing ship, he is filled with hatred yet forced to confront his new reality. Looking around, he faces a desperate situation: mountains of garbage. a planet used by various rulers to dump war remnants, with extremely harsh conditions. Unexpectedly, he finds humans living there. He quickly climbs down from the garbage pile to investigate. In the distance, a scrapped giant spaceship has a rope fence leading toward it. Observing the severely damaged environment and an approaching sandstorm, Todd's immediate task is survival. He clings tightly to the fence as a hurricane sweeps through with sand his hands bleed. But with his exceptional condition, he endures. After surviving the storm, Todd cautiously follows the fence forward, realizing it guides people through sandstorms. He finds a makeshift graveyard constructed from garbage indicating human presence ahead. Entering the spaceship, Todd finds a secret underground camp with a few humans. Years of combat make him cautious. He ducks to spy, but a sudden gust causes him to fall heavily from stone steps. Without protection, his injuries worsen. He spits blood and faints. Todd's arrival plunges the inhabitants into panic. They convene a community meeting for hundreds of years. No outsiders visited. Now a soldier falls from the sky. Everyone is curious how he arrived. Jimmy Pig returns from patrol, reporting no other soldiers or ships nearby. Having finally escaped war and rebuilt homes here, residents fear his presence disrupts peace and unanimously agree to expel him. But kind-hearted Hawkins believes since the stranger is unarmed and severely injured, they should provide aid, in the spirit of saving lives. She decides to leave Todd in the care of Mace and his family. Hawkins' compassion ultimately spares the refugee camp from impending disaster. The injured Todd is taken in by Mace's family. When Sandra, Mace's wife, first sees him, she is frightened by the battle names tattooed on his shoulder. Still, she carefully administers medicine and tends his wounds with great care. Sandra tells Mace her worries, but Mace says he understands Todd after all. He's a soldier. The next day, Todd is awakened by noise outside. He finds Mace and his family playing and laughing together. Todd, isolated from society and family since birth, is puzzled by their behavior. Seeing Todd's cold expression, Mace becomes nervous, thinking he disturbed his rest and quickly apologizes, saying they were just playing with the child. Todd's face remains stoic. Mace tries to please him by showing a handmade cane, but to Todd, it seems like a preparatory move for an attack. His expression turns fierce. Mace demonstrates how the cane is used, and the family feels Todd's imposing presence for the first time. At dinner, Todd sits upright, devouring his food, a habit formed in the military, ingrained in his genes. Thinking he is very hungry, Mace gives his portion to Todd, but this kindness draws hostility from others. During a space journey, their ship crashed here, unknown since when ships started dumping garbage. They signaled for help to no avail. Perhaps those ships were unmanned. They settled on the garbage planet. Fortunately, no one wanted to invade. Todd remains silent but is not unmoved. When he sees Sandra in warm sunlight, her clothing slightly transparent, he feels a momentary heartbeat, a sensation never experienced before. Meanwhile, Colonel Meekum, having replaced the soldiers with devil warriors, is smugly satisfied. Coincidentally, he chooses the garbage planet for the new soldiers' real-world training. He thinks the miners and refugees there can serve as enemies for practice. As the spaceship heads toward the garbage planet, Todd is learning how to grow vegetables with Sandra. Unfortunately, he discovers that aside from fighting, he is incapable of almost anything else. Suddenly, a venomous snake moves towards Sandra. Before Todd can react, Sandra swiftly decapitates it. She patiently reminds Todd such snakes are common on the garbage planet and very deadly to women and children. Her son was once bitten, resulting in his inability to speak. Sandra hands a seedling to Todd, asking him to plant it himself. Todd, who has never smiled or seen such a beautiful smile directed at him, gently plants the seedling. At that moment, he feels as if he has found his roots. That day, Todd joins everyone in scavenging for garbage. Everything in the village is collected from there, turning waste into treasure. Suddenly, a strong wind strikes. Everyone hurries to secure themselves to the chain fence. Jimmy Pig is caught off guard and swept up, about to be thrown into a rolling drum. Everyone tries to pull him back but fails. At the crucial moment, Todd acts, saving Jimmy Pig with ease. Everyone is overjoyed at Jimmy's narrow escape. However, Todd is then seen fiddling with Mace's submachine gun, making everyone nervous. Mace cautiously approaches to retrieve his gun when a spaceship passes overhead. Mace explains it's a garbage disposal ship that comes every half-month and hopes Todd will return the gun. Jimmy Pig thanks Todd loudly, but receives only a blank stare in response. Initially wary, people soon realize Todd, though expressionless and taciturn, harbors no ill intentions. Even though he always stares intently at Sandra, Mace notices but trusts his wife. Despite harsh conditions, Todd finds unprecedented happiness here. He begins learning about everyday life, slowly discovering his humanity.